Okay, hello everyone. This is Victor Momo from Excel Moments, and this is the third video in the series on advanced filter. The first one we looked at just an introduction talking about the features of advanced filter. In the second, we went into how to set up, your filter criteria, your list range, and the range you intend to copy the filter data to, and also talked a little about text filters and also creating unique records when you filter. So in this video, I want to talk about a few things, but I'm going to start off with filtering using a numeric criteria. So let's get into that. So I'm using the same data set as I've used in the previous video. Okay, so for text, we already talked about that. So for numbers, very easy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the income column for my criteria. So not much has changed. So this is income. So for numbers, just put as is. What you see is what you get. You don't need to play with the formatting. So if, for example, I wanted to filter on maybe clients who earn a salary of say 250K, I'm just going to put 250,000 here. I'll pull up my advanced filter, Alt AQ. I'll do copy to a different location. So let's be sure everything is fine. Criteria range, okay, that's good, right? And where do we want to copy to? Say we want to copy here. Okay, that's all. And do okay, right? So those are the clients who earn 250K on the dot. Okay, not going to spend any time on that. The other thing you can do with numbers is that you could also use, inequalities. Oh, greater than, less than, not equal to. So let's just do one of them, maybe greater than or equal to, for example. So here you just put it in just like that, greater than equal to 250,000. So this will mean those that earn 250,000 and above. So let's repeat this. Of course, you can see that once you click the enter there, it goes to the left because it's now essentially formatted as a text, because of the greater than or equal to. So let's launch our advanced filter. Same, everything is same. Okay, so you can see that now we not only have those who earn 250,000, but those who earn what? Above 250,000. Okay, so then one interesting one if could be if you want to do not equal to. So what if I wanted to filter by those whose salaries were not equal to say 250,000. So anything but 250,000. That's how you do it. Okay. You use a less than and a greater than sign. So let's pull this up again. Copy to location. Okay. All right. So now you see that you have everything but what? Guys who earn 250. So um that's really how that works. I don't think there's so much to say on that for now. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is really where it starts getting very funky. So I think I have some text here. I just need to change their fonts. Just hit them there, right? Okay. I have some other. Oh yeah, I do. Okay. Yes. So now we are getting into using multiple criteria, maybe for one column, or using maybe multiple criteria on multiple columns. Okay? Or so here it now gets a little more involving. So, like I said, and if you look at all the examples we've actually done, we've only used one column for the filter. So, for example, now we've used only the income here. So what if you wanted to add another criteria, maybe for another column? So what would you do? So you could add maybe a gender here, right? And you could say for gender, you want what? Male. So this is the point we're trying to make here. When you put the conditions on the same row, you imply an and, meaning that Excel look at my data set and return for me clients whose income is not 250,000, and at the same time those clients are male. Okay, so not 250,000 and male. So once you put the conditions on the same row, this is an and. That's the point I'm trying to make here. So let's run the advanced filter by using this as our criteria and see what we get. So here we come back here, we do Alt AQ. You know that our criteria range is a little different this time, right? It needs to include the gender and the male. That's all you need to add there. I'll still leave my copy location as is and I'll do OK. So now what do we see? They're not equals to 250,000 and they are strictly what? Male. Okay, if I didn't have the male here, I would have had some more entries, which would be for females whose salaries are not, 250,000. Okay, so that's the and concept, right? For that. Now, if you put them on different rows, then you mean an or. Okay, so if you put them on different rows, so you mean an or. So for example, if I did this instead, so what this means is their income is not 250,000, and what? Or they are male, right? So it doesn't mean they must be male, and at the same time, their salary should not be 250,000. It means it would obey not 250,000. First of all, it will return all the entries it sees. Then it will also return all the entries, it sees for male. Here, it's not going to do an and, so it's not an intersection, right? It's more like a union. That's what it's going to do. So let's see if this is a little different. So Alt AQ, copy to another location. Criteria, now we need to include the other row here. Okay, and then copy to. So let's see. So you can see that here anybody who doesn't earn 250,000 is what we displayed, and it returns every male in there. Whether the male earns 250,000 or not is not the important thing. Point is it will return every male and also return everybody that doesn't earn 250,000. So you have to understand the differences. When you put them on the same row, it's more like an intersection. Both conditions must be satisfied, right? You know, and in this case, this condition or this condition. So whichever one it finds, it's fine by it. So that's how that kind of works. So that's like the and then we also have what? The or. Okay. So let me maybe just take this down because I think it's good to have, that reference. Let's see. Okay, so that's how that works. So I'm going to come into maybe I'll take a detour from the and or slightly, then just head back to it shortly. So now what we've seen here is where you are having the and or using two columns. Now the question is, for example, what if you have two conditions using an and for the same column? So for example, I want to see clients whose salaries are maybe greater than, say, 150,000 and less than 220,000. Greater than 150, less than 220. Okay, so what am I going to do? First of all, I have two conditions, but the two conditions are on the same, column. Okay, so you may not have figured, but this is really what you need. You put income, and the second column too, you put what? Income. So that's how it works. When you have more than one condition for a particular column, just repeat that column header, right? So here I'm going to put my condition, which is what? Greater than, I think I said 150,000. I think that's what I said. Then 220,000. Okay. So now let's try with this. Uh, Gets more interesting. So here you don't need the other columns, else you would, or other rows, else you would return something else. Then copy to location. Yeah, I think we should be fine. Okay, so greater than 150,000. So you can see everybody here is greater than 150,000, but what? Less than 220,000. Okay, so that's one more. So now Let's now see how we can combine um, maybe multiple columns with multiple criteria. Just an example there to help. Let's see. Let me just write it here. Maybe age. If the age is greater than, let's see, age is greater than 45 and say less than 55. And at the same time, yeah, the salary is let's say greater than 150 and less than 200. Okay, so the age is greater than 45 and at the same time less than 55, you know, and then the salary is what greater than 150K and less than 200K. So let's see how to write that. So let me clear all this and then let's get into that. Okay, so first thing is we know that we need the age column, right? So what's the first criteria for age? The age must be what? Greater than what? 45. Huh? Now we also know that the age must be what? Less than 55. So I will repeat age again and say what? Less than 55. Now what other condition do we need? At the same time too, we want salary, which in this case has to be income. The headers have to match. Income should be what? Greater than what? 150,000. And income must also be what? Less than 200,000. Okay, I'm not sure if this will return anything, but it's worth a try, right? So let's launch advanced filter again, copy to location, make sure you update your criteria range, right? So select everything. I put all of them on the same row because this is all what? And, right? All conditions must be satisfied. Okay, so then copy to location and do okay. So let's see. So this is the only client who is, yeah, let's see if he meets all the criteria. Is greater than 45, less than 55. That's correct. And his salary is what? Greater than 150 and what? Less than 200,000. So once you really get a hang of, like the and the ors, you can pretty much set up, your criteria range however you want it. And um, it gets the job done for you. Let me just think up one that may help. Say, yeah, the age is greater than 45 and less than 55, or the person is female. Okay, so the age is greater than 45 and less than 55, or the person is female. So how is that going to look like? So the age is greater than 45, age is less than 55. We need that. We also need for the gender, right? But I didn't say and the person is female. I said what? Or the person is female. So if I put it here and put female here, what this would mean is that the person is female and the age is between 45 and 55. But that's not what we want. What do we want? We want 45 and 55, and the gender is what? Female. Okay? So what it's going to do here is because these two are on the same row, don't forget, it's going to do and what? And then because they are on a different row from the gender, it's going to do an or. So what we expect to see here is the age of the person will be between 45 and 55, right? But for the gender, since it's an all female, it means it will return all females irrespective of the age. So you really need to know what it is you are trying to do, first of all, and how to set it up. And when you also see some criteria, you should be able to interpret it. So in this case, I expect all females to be returned. And then since there are only two genders and all males whose ages are between 45 and 55. So let's see that. Let's launch our advanced filter. The only thing that will change, of course, is our criteria range, right? So just expand it to accommodate everybody. And do okay. So now let's see what's happened here. So you can see how many females do we have here. I can do a quick count. That's why I'm not using a lot of data. So we have 6 of them. So you can see the 6 females. Then the males that are returned here, which are these guys, this and this. You see that they must meet that criteria of what age, which is what greater than 45 and what less than 55. You can see that some females are not within that bracket, but because you did an or, so it will return everybody who is a female. So that's just getting into the and, or, and how, all that works. Okay, so in this video we've looked at using maybe multiple criteria for one column. We've looked at using multiple criteria for multiple columns. Then we've also looked at of course, the whole and or concept. Once it's all on the same row, it's an and. Once it's on different rows, it's an or. So this is where we're going to end this video. In the next video, I'll probably just talk about wildcards, and then just a quick example on how we use it to remove duplicates, and that will be it. So if you like this video, hit the like button. You can also subscribe to the channel, Excel Moments. So till I come back with the next video in this series, which I think may be the last, I would say, if you can think it. Excel most likely can do it. I'm out.